Hey guys, what's going on? Almighty Pharaoh here, and today we're going to be discussing the state of the game Undisputed Boxing. Is it dead already? It's only been about, I don't think it's been a week yet, but is it dead? Can it be saved? What are some of the things that need to change for this game moving forward? I'm about 100 plus matches in, so I think I have a pretty good amount of experience with this game. I haven't played ranked. I've mainly just stayed regular online just because, until they patch it, I don't think it's worth it to play ranked. But I do want you guys to pay attention to this match on the screen. I'm using Ali. My opponent, of course, is using Deontay Wilder. But I want you to pay attention because this match is a really good example of a few of the things that this game does wrong and a few of the issues that this game has. Actually, one of my biggest issues with the game happens at the end of this fight, so make sure you kind of pay attention. But first up, one of the main things with this game that's really frustrating, and I think the easiest thing to fix, is the quitting issue. So like if we're in a match and my opponent's losing, they can just close the app, the game freezes, and sometimes I get a loss, sometimes I don't get the win, and you also don't get as many rank points or as many experience points that you would if you got the win. So that's just one of those things I think is unacceptable, honestly. Like in this age of gaming, when you have, I guess, the most people ever playing video games, there's gonna be a lot of people, cheesing and quitting. So you have to have something implemented to stop people from just quitting and ruining your record or just making the game, a bad experience. So that's really that. Like, for that to still be part of this game is kind of surprising, especially because it's been early access so long. I didn't play any of the early access, but I know it's been in development for a while. So to see that still in the game at release at this price point is kind of unfortunate, but it's definitely something that needs to be patched like yesterday. But another problem we have, another issue we have in this game is the desync. Like the ghost punches, the unresponsiveness. You throwing punches, you don't see them. You getting punched, you don't see them. You hear them 2 seconds later. I mean, stuff like that just kind of makes the game unplayable for a lot of people, and it makes it really frustrating, especially if you're dealing with spammers and people exploiting the game, which we'll get into later. But yeah, the desync, it's not always bad. Sometimes it's most of the time for me, I'm on Xbox, so most of the time for me it's decent, but when it does become an issue, it really becomes an issue. So I think along with people leaving the game, the desync has to be addressed before anything. This is actually out of any game I've ever played in my life, this has to be the worst desync I've experienced, just because it's so apparent, and because it's a fighting game, it really matters, and it's really noticeable, and it's really the difference between you winning a fight or winning a round and not. So yeah, it's just one of those things that it is what it is. Like, you guys just have to fix SCI. You have to fix it. Like, there's no excuse to still have that in the game. Also, the third thing I would say is, I've heard a lot about, everyone saying the power punches. You gotta turn down the power punches. They're too strong or whatever. I don't think the power punches are too strong. I don't even think the power punches are the problem. I think the issue that we're having is that there are players abusing stamina and animations. So what I mean by that, I mean, if you play the game, we all know the stamina is terrible. I mean, you can throw 400, 500, 600, not even just regular punches, power punches all game, and then still be at about 45% stamina, which obviously doesn't make any sense. So you have people or players that are combining the use of the power punch with the fact that you can throw as many as you want. And what I mean by abusing animations, so when you throw power punches, well, all these punches have different animations. So when you throw a power punch, there should be a delay after you throw it in the animation to give the opponent time to counter, which this game does not have. Honestly, it seems like you can throw a power punch, immediately evade a punch, and then throw another power punch, all in the same sequence, which doesn't happen in real life, but it also doesn't happen in, simulation fighting games, or at least it shouldn't. That's definitely something that needs fixing. Also, I've seen where players, you can throw a power punch, you can miss, you could get hit by your opponent with a punch or a power punch, and then throw another power punch directly after that, which doesn't make sense. So if you throw a punch and you get hit, there should be some type of delay, or there should be some type of, consequence for whiffing and then taking a blow to the body or to the head. It shouldn't be that you throw a punch, you could whiff, your opponent counters you, hit you with a good shot, and then you can immediately throw another power punch. I mean, you can probably see in the match that's going on right now, my opponent's doing a lot of that. Also with the power punches, you get stunned if you get hit by them and immobilized for, honestly what feels like 3 seconds, which allows your opponent to get in 1, 2, 3 free shots. And if you're stunned already, that could potentially be a knockout. So, you just have it's not really the power punches that are the problem. It's the power punches combined with the fact that stamina doesn't deplete. It's the power punches combined with the fact that if you get hit with a power punch, regardless of your head health, regardless of what state you're in, you can get stunned and immobilized, even if your opponent is tired. I mean, it doesn't make the experience fun. It doesn't make matches fair, and it shouldn't be in the game. I mean, period. That's just what it is. Another issue this game is having is, which I mentioned before, but I'll go into a little more detail, is the stamina. The stamina management is all over the place. Sometimes I've seen guys like Prioxis play where he's throwing mainly, regular punches, combos, and his stamina is depleting faster than the guy who's throwing all power punches. How, why, I don't know, but obviously that's something that shouldn't be in the game. Also, throwing a power punch should drain stamina more than it does, especially if you whiff. I don't mind getting hit with a nice, clean, hard power punch, but if I make you miss 1, 2, 3 power punches, you should be super tired, and I should be able to take advantage of that. It feels like the window is the same size throughout the whole fight when people are throwing power punches. I feel like the window should get larger and larger as you go on into the fight, as you progress, as your opponent gets more tired. That just makes sense to me. Fixing the stamina, it would completely change the game. Like that's probably one of the main issues about the gameplay and about the immersiveness is that, people don't get tired enough. You don't get gassed enough. And, even in real life, boxers throwing hard punches and missing, you can visibly see they're tired, and it takes a toll, and you can see its effect throughout the fight. So I think that's, we need to fix that. Another really big issue for me, and probably for a lot of other players, is the block breaking. Why is it, or why does it feel like you can't block punches sometimes? You put your guard up, you got both your hands up, ready to block, and then there's just random punches that get through. And especially power punches, especially the straight power shots. Your opponent could be right in your face throwing a straight power jab or straight, and it's just eating through your block, even with your block meter all the way up. I don't know if that's supposed to happen. I don't know if that's a feature, but I honestly hate it. Like, it's terrible. It's terrible. You can probably see some of that happening in the fight that's going on. Like, you got your hands up, ready to block the big power punch, and it just eats through, stuns you, wobbles you. And it's just like, what's the point? What's the point of having your hands up? At least if it's going to go through, don't let it go through and still stun me. Give me the damage, but let me keep my composure. So that's honestly one of the things I hate the most, because I feel like a lot of times when I'm playing, I'll be fighting real good, getting my combos in, and there's just like a stupid random power punch that rocks me. It completely ruins my head health, and now I gotta retreat, and I can't play how I was playing, and it kind of just changes the whole direction of the fight, unfortunately. So yeah, that's something else that needs to be addressed and needs to be patched. The last issue that I have with this game actually happens at the end of this fight. So I want you guys to keep watching this fight to the end. And then I'm going to come back and show you exactly what I'm talking about, because to me personally, it's one of the most frustrating things about this game. So just stay tuned, watch the match, watch the fight, and I'll be right back.
He's absolutely knackered, mate. He's knackered. He's gone. Do your business. One, two, three, four, five, six. Give me your glove. Look at him, he's absolutely knackered, mate. He's knackered. Let's go.
We're at the end of the fight, and as you can see, they had me lose. Now, if you watch this fight from beginning to end, how did I lose this? Now let's just stop and take a look at the scorecard, because the last problem is the judging. I landed 69% total strikes. He threw 344 power punches, only landed about 160. I threw 94, landed 60 of them, so that's 65%. I landed 66% of my uppercuts. He landed 33. I landed 76% of my hooks. He landed 53. I landed 64% of my straights. He landed 47. I landed most of my jabs. He landed less. What on this scorecard says that I lost this fight? Now, yes, granted, he hit me a lot with those power punches, but that's all he threw, and he missed most of them. Also, I think he got How many knockdowns does it say? He got 2 knockdowns and I got 2 knockdowns. Why did he win this? How is this scorecard judged? What is it based on? What is prioritized? Because if this was a real fight, everyone would say I was cheated. And it makes it impossible to play. It makes it impossible to play the long game with these guys who are spamming power punches and just exploiting the game, because even if you manage to take them the distance and you have a good fight, you still might end up losing, or you still might end up drawing when the person literally just spammed the entire match and didn't even knock you out cold and didn't even have the fight stop. It went to the end. You landed more punches. You did more damage. But they still win. So yeah, for me, that's been the most frustrating thing, because it's happened to me the most. As you can see, my record is 68, 49, and 5. I'm not one of those guys who make, 7, 8 accounts. I mainly just play on this account. I do a lot of experimenting. Obviously, there's been a lot of people leaving the game. There's been a lot of cheesing. So, the record is what it is. I don't think anyone's record means anything, honestly, especially at this point in the game. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Let me guys know what you think. This is actually a new channel. This form of content is pretty new to me, so any support will be appreciated. I want you guys to let me know what you liked, what you didn't like about it, if I should do some more of these videos. And honestly, I just want to say to SCI, all of this feedback from all these creators you are listening to and seeing is because this game has incredible potential. Incredible. Like, this game, outside of the few things I mentioned, if those get fixed, this is one of the best fighting games, if not the best fighting games ever. And I'm gonna stand on that, because it's very fun. It gives you that simulation feeling, or as close to it as you can get, or that we have gotten. When I first picked up the game and I was like moving around with the footwork, it literally gave me goosebumps. Like, I was like, wow, this game is fire. Like, this game is dope. So all this criticism, I don't want you guys to take it negatively. I want you guys to take it as the community cares and we want to see this game grow. And it's not, because honestly, if this game sucked, everyone would have just said it sucked and been done with the game day 2. But there's still people playing. There's still dedicated content creators playing this game that want to see it do well. So please, 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 let's patch this up. Let's get this ball moving forward, because this is a great game, has a lot of potential, and we want to see it grow. But with that being said, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Make sure you drop a like, drop a comment, and yeah, love.